everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. Not quite sure where to start with this tutorial because we're going to cover a couple of things before I get going on the card. So first, before I do, earlier, well, it was a few weeks ago because Stampin' Up! Introduced some Natural Tones Stampin' Blends, and it was a set of them, and they weren't available for very long before they went on back order. They are due to be back in, like around the week of April 4th. A lot of times when they give us an estimate, then it gets pushed back another week. So right now it's April 4th. When they said that they were coming out, I did if you buy them from me, you get a free class. So a lot of you bought them, you got the free class, but before they were only available for a little bit and then they sold out right away. So then I did an offer that if you wanted to buy the class, and it's very inexpensive, then as soon as they're available, I will rebate you the class fee if you buy them from me. And I will just, once you make the purchase, I'll give you the class fee back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this up a little bit longer. The class is now up, but I am so busy, and I get asked a lot of times why I don't leave like my video only classes up for a long time, and there is a reason. The reason is because sometimes I just forget to take the links down and then somebody buys a class, and frankly it's just not worth my time then to go back and send the links to one person for a class. I'm just far too busy to do that. I wish I had time. Maybe someday in my future I'll be able to hire somebody for office work that they can do that, but for now I can't. So I'm going to leave this class up for 2 more weeks. If you want to buy the class, I think it's $10 or $15, and then when the blends are available, I will give 2 weeks past that for you to purchase them, and then I'll rebate the money, and that's all the more office time I want to put into it. And then after that we'll have a Zoom. So the class is really good. You download these fun little charts, and then I tell you how to blend. So we have the chart and a chart, and then we blend together, and then we'll Zoom together. So there's that, and it's up. So that's up for 2 more weeks. So I just wanted to get that out there, that it's there 2 more weeks, then it comes down, and I won't be opening it back up when the blends are available. Just again, because by the time they're up, we will be ready for the new catalog to come out, and I just don't have time. So then this card today is Card Club. So my Card Club, every month you have to be registered by the 10th. So everybody who's in, you're in, because it's a subscription. It is offered via PayPal. You do not have to have a PayPal account to do it. PayPal just takes your credit card, your debit card, a checking account, whatever form of payment you have. PayPal just offers a subscription service, so you just sign up for it. So I'll show you what they're getting this month. So every month you get a full spool of ribbon. This month you're getting the linen thread. Every month you get 6 envelopes. Every month you get a full package of embellishments. This month they are getting the rhinestone waves, basic jewels. Every month you get a half. It depends on which paper we're using. So this month they're getting a half a packet of the waves paper. So they're getting a half pack this way. But they're also getting a half a pack of the blue foil, which is part of this. So they're getting a half a pack of this. And then, so I mean, that's the uncut stuff they're getting. And then every month they get the supplies to create 6 cards. Now we do 2 of each. So you've already seen 1. Every month the public gets to see 1 of our cards. So you've already seen 1. So this would be the supplies then that they get to create 1 of the designs. And if you've already seen the video, this is it. So I mean, this, you can see they have the white cardstock, they have a piece of vellum, they have the die cut fence, and they have die cut birds, and then a strip of adhesive sheet. Now to do my Card Club, you do not need a die cut machine. Any die cuts or punches that come to you are already done. And that's mostly thanks to my husband. He does all of the die cutting. I do some of the punches, but not all, because it hurts my hands. Last month I started, and he said, "You're going slow." And I said, "Well, do you want to do it?" And he said, "Yes." And after about 4 punches, he's like, "This hurts." And I'm like, "That's why I was going slow." Because there's a lot of people in my club. So, but that's how it works. That's why you get 6 envelopes. So, and then every month as part of my club, there's a a bunch of perks, but one of the perks is that you can buy that month's featured set for just catalog cost. So if you're in the club, remember by the 10th of the month, if you want Oceanfront, because that's this month's, then you have to, I send them the link and then they can just buy that month's stamp set for just catalog costs. So they don't pay tax or shipping. I picked that up as a club perk. And then this card is made with Oceanfront. And then you can see we've used these pieces. And then here's their pieces. And as part of the instructions, you can see this video. It's already up. I'll have it click up at the top of the screen here so you can go watch it if you missed it. And then we put that together. So then the other two videos are just for the club people, and we will make the other two cards. Then we zoom together later. I will do alternates. We do have a club alternate set, which is color and contour. And every month I will do cards with color and contour. So if we pick a set and it's just not their style, they know that color and contour, which is kind of a generic flower set with some generic dies, that they'll have that. But then every month I do an alternate as well. So today's is the alternate. So I'm going to take these supplies and make a totally alternate card. And because there is a sale this month, I am going to use one of the sale sets. Now it does come with dies, but because I know some of the girls in the club don't have a die cut machine because it's not required for a club. So I'm going to use these supplies and pretend that they don't have a die cut machine. Here's the original card. I am going to use the Beauty of Friendship. So I know some of my club girls don't have it, but I know lots of you do. So here are some samples that I've made before in the past with the Beauty of Friendship bundle. It is 20% off this month. So you can see it has some great dies. And here's another one that I've done with the Beauty of Friendship, but I'm not going to use the dies on this alternate card. So here's the supplies. I'm just going to use the stamps to create the alternate. So when they have their supplies, then you saw that they are getting, and y'all in the club, you have your paper and the foil. So for this one, obviously I went with the ocean theme because the Oceanfront stamp, I love it. I love, 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 love the stamp set this month. It's just a beautiful stamp set. And you have the bird and you have your fence. But for this tree, and this set, I kind of wanted to go with, I mean, you could do the blue and still keep it an ocean kind of looking card, but I wanted to do spring. And I was kind of inspired by this card that I've done in the past, and it's spring, right? So instead of cutting these pieces of paper, I just cut them about the same size. And these are the same pieces. So you can see on this side, it's the blues. But if you flip this one, it has more of the spring kind of flower feel. And then I just went with the silver foil that comes in the same foil pack, because the blue foils has the Pacific Point, a Bermuda Bay kind of color, and then the silver. So otherwise we're going to go kind of the same feel. So let's stamp it first. I have not made this card, so we'll hope that it works. You can do scrap paper, or I'm just going to stamp on the white. I just folded this white card in half, and then I've mounted my stamps. So let's go. Obviously, this card here, let's put it here so we can kind of see what we're doing. This takes up a lot more space than the tree. So I went with the bigger words. And then the fence is going to work perfect with the tree. So I went with basic gray to pull in the silver. And we'll stamp our trunk in the basic gray. Now remember, the vellum takes a little bit of time to dry. So we'll just be careful when we stamp with the colors on top of each other. If you have a die cut machine and you're doing this as an alternate, then you could stamp on this and use the dies out of this and cut some of the overlays, kind of like the other card that I've done. So let's stamp our tree. And then be careful when you pull up on this because vellum can splatter because it's wet. And then I'm going to do the words. I didn't get my black. Where is my black pad? I just filmed something else. There it is. And then I'm going to do the words in black. And because I'm going to kind of keep it this way, I'm going to put the fence still over here. So let's put our words down over here. And I went with the biggest one so they would take up the most space. Plus I like them. It says friendships refresh the soul. Make sure my paper's still straight. You can stamp your words straight, but if your paper's crooked and you stamp your words straight on crooked paper, then it's still crooked. So got that. And then let's do our beautiful leaves. So I went with the colors in this paper because that's going to go there. So let's do crushed curry. And this is where it may pull up some of the gray. You can heat set it if you want, because I know that gray hasn't dried. It didn't do too bad. And then let's do, oh, wait a second. Nope, that one's good. And then let's do pale papaya, because I think this might be petal pink, but I wanted the papaya to be a little bit brighter than the petal pink. And you can see these have kind of overlays on them to give you that fun spring. It's just around the corner, people. The fun spring colors of when our leaves start to, our flowering trees start to bloom. So it's very, very subtle because it's on vellum, but it's okay because once we add this paper underneath, we will be good. So here we have this. Now I'm going to set that aside and we'll do the rest of the card and let it dry. So I'm going to take this and do it just the same way I did the other one. So that was, I added this here, because when you do, and you can do this with any video that you watch, if you don't have the exact same supplies, then you just use what you have and make the same card with what you have. So here's that. And then I'll add just a little bit. I cut these a little bit thicker because I knew that was a little bit smaller than this giant design. I'll put this here. And then to get this vellum to stay on this one, I used a sticky adhesive, because when you press it down on there, it's going to, it acts as a giant tape. And that's what's coming in their club packet. This is not the one they're getting. This is a super old piece. And I just happen to have a piece of it laying on the table. So you pull it off and it's a sticker. And I'm just going to stick it right in between the two of these. Just like that. And you press it down really good. Got some on my finger. Rub that off. Oh, and look, it matches my nails. That means my nails are kind of petal pink. Petal pink, blushing bride. Blushing bride is actually the color of my bridesmaid's dress. Which sometimes when people say they don't like blushing bride, I'm kind of offended because it is the color of my of my bride's dress. I mean, granted, that was very, very many years ago. So put this on here. And I'm going to put this here and press it down. And here it is how this On the Horizons fabulous little fence can go with anything, right? Because it really goes with that beach set. But this die will go with so many different things because this is not a beach. It's a fun little set from, it's going to go now on a spring tree. And on this one, I just kind of wrapped it around to give it that look of driftwood kind of, but I don't need that on here. So I am going to, let's see what we can do in here. Or maybe we can. I don't want it as drifty maybe. So instead of doing it all over, we'll just do it like this. And then maybe I'll just, we'll just go up like that. So I'm gonna just put a little bit of adhesive right here. And then I have a tiny bit of adhesive that's stuck down there. And then just add, if I had my glue dots out, I would stick those here. I'm gonna cut this off and I'm gonna tie a knot just so I have a little bit bigger surface to stick this in. This is what happens when you create on the fly. Just tie this knot here. And now we have more that's going to help hold this in place. And now I'm going to add this up here. Now, as part of my club, they can also add an adhesive package whenever they're out of adhesive, and glue dots are part of that. So I'll go back in just a second and I will add some glue dots to that. And that will help hold all those down. I like that. And then the bird, see they have a bird. We'll add the bird. And that'll give a little bit more pop of color. Glue dot, and they can also, there's glue that comes in the adhesive package, which would work well for this. I'll put this over here. And then these are part of it. So we can do the green and have some green grass down here, or we can do this really, really light blue and help add to the illusion of the sky, which is what I'm gonna do on this one. I'm just gonna add some up here, kind of give clouds. Adds a little bit more color, because before it was a little bit on the yellow pink side. And I'm just gonna go for the small ones. I don't want it to look like we've got moon up here. So there we go. Now, if it was dry, I might take my Wink Stella and add a little bit of that. Because it's on vellum, it's a little bit wet right now. So if I did it, it would just smear. But super, super fun. There's also a little stamping here. Let's do that. See this one right here? It kind of has flowers on it. I have my Calypso Coral out. Let's pull this. Let's give it a little bit more pop of color because it can handle it. I didn't know if it would be too much, but it's not going to be too much. So let's get a little bit of Calypso Coral. Just have a few more little flowers on our tree. That's fun. Because if we're stampers, we're about the color, right? And then I'm going to even add a little bit some down here. There we go. I like it. So if you're in Card Club and you're not getting Oceanfront because you just don't like the smell of the sea, here you go. Here's your first alternate. And you could really do this exact same card with the color and contour, and instead of putting the tree there, put your flowers and color those in. So if you're interested in joining the club, you have to join by the 10th to get this month's. And then once you join every month, it's the cheapest class I do. By the time I take out the fees and the postage and the cost of everything that comes, I'm really not making anything, but because there's so many of you that do it and I love doing it, and because I know it's going to happen every month, it makes it really easy for planning. So it's my favorite thing, and I hope that you all love it too. And it's the class that I always have a why to. I teach you how to stamp and how to do this and there's a why behind all of the cards that we do in the class. So it's really Stamping 101, a level up. Like I understand that you all know how to stamp, but I'm teaching you to take it a step further. So if you're interested, the link will be down below the video. There's a Card Club page on my website that you can find at the tab across the top. Everybody have a great day, and I will catch you back here later.